King's Avatar is a Chinese animation, an instant classic if I ever seen one. It tells a story of young kid named Yeju, Chinese pro esports player in the game known as Glory. Sort of a combination between MOBAs such as Dota or a League or games like that, and MMOs such as FF14. Players who stick for 5 years or more are considering pro or veterans. And Yeju, in fact, played for 10 years right from the beginning. And he's damn good at the game too, but he's not very marketable, which is reason why his people decide to cut him off and replace him with younger, it's a team managers. Other players don't necessarily agree, but he gets replaced with younger, much more marketable person that they can use. Yeju gets offered humiliation, offer that is just pure humiliation. He turns it down and he decides to start over. That is basic description of this show, and tell you what, you need to watch it. It's action packed when it needs to be action packed. It's slow when it needs to be slow. I found out about show from video by the Pedantic Romantic. I highly recommend it. That one was mostly comparison to Sword Art Online. I would rather at this show that I'm starting, Watch and Learn, love to take one element from piece of fiction and use it to create it into a writing tip. Thing is, originally I thought I'm gonna do just movies, but turns out that few episodes in I became absolutely addicted to King's Avatar. Actually just 3 episodes in, and like I said, instant classic, instantly one of my favorite shows ever, 3 episodes in. I don't know if it's gonna go bad, if it's gonna go sour. So far it's getting better by second. And a lot of it is due Yeju, our main character. I'm really struggling in the proper words, but thing is, Yeju is a hardcore introvert, like me, like many of us, and he's not really good and at playing the game, playing the marketing, getting himself promotable, which is what lost him his 10-year character and his career. Other problem is that he spends most of his money helping out friends who lost the job, so he doesn't really have fortune stuck somewhere. He needs to get his 9 to 5 again and he needs to start over. And you know what? That's something that happened to all of us. We lost jobs. We need to start over. We moved. We lost friends. We gained friends. And right away, this is something relatable to anyone. I said I want to take one tip, but again, this thing so far is so well written, so I have to take multiple. First one, you can create your story. Could be fantasy story, could be action story, could be sci-fi, could be combination, because again, this show, it's esports, but game they play itself is fantasy, so you get real life slice of life and you get fantasy battles all in one. I hate to make that comparison, but it's Sword Art Online what possibly should have been all the time. Yes, an easy way to get your friend, your audience to care is to realize that your characters, no matter where they are, could and probably should go through same problems as people in real life go, as your audience go, as you go. Yeju, I am not Chinese pro player, but I have lost a job before. I am not handsome young gentleman, but I did have been betrayed by my friends. I don't have insane skill. I'm writing obviously, but I don't have fame and I don't have glory, but I've been there and I felt when one thing that I'm good at is being taken from me. And just this thing I can relate. Remember, and when you're writing story about kings and space warriors, space marines and vampire hunters, you don't have to cut your fantasy story and put hours of filler about their hero's bitchy wives or something, or kids that he doesn't like, but try to take some relatable problems and add them to literally any genre, any story. And that one honestly cheap dirty trick just to make your characters a bit more human makes them insanely relatable, and it helps for your readers to get attached, just like it from me. Like I said, not to get too personal, but I it's not as bad as straight up losing my job. I have some backup and I'm mostly gonna find better job, but I am in this state of not being unsure what future brings. And Yeju is right there, and what he does, he gets up and he keeps going. I don't want to just get it up and give whole episode up, and obviously I'm gonna be talking about this a lot, but I wanted to tell you that this thing is worth your attention, and it's worth of you as a fan, as a viewer, as a fan of really anything. But if you're a writer or if you care about storytelling, watch first episode and enjoy it for what it is, because it's awesome, and then watch it again and pay attention how it still managed to be fantastic story. It's fun, there's action, there's jokes, there's romance, but there's also just life getting you down. And now here's the trick question, because some of you might be thinking, yeah, but a lot of people go to stories to find escapism from their daily grind. Yes, people also find you don't have to make slice of life purely. What I'm saying is just a little bit, and it mixes the formula. It makes it all better. It makes it all different, and it makes it, like I said, relatable. You immediately feel as if there was magnet pulling you towards the characters, which brings us to best part. Technically second tip, but gonna say that anyway. Yeju, when he loses his career, when his life fell apart, he smokes cigar and he keeps going and he starts over. He doesn't get up on top of the mountain like an anime hero like Naruto or Goku or whoever. He doesn't swear revenge. He doesn't yell how I'm gonna show everyone. He just gets up, finds a 9 to 5 job that lets him play the game. He starts a new character after 10 years, and he starts from bottom and he keeps going up. And especially for writers, I think a lot of people who don't write find it really difficult to understand, but as much writing the end at the top of the, I don't want to insult anyone, but I imagine this is how people who have children feel. They will tell me that there's nothing comparable to having your child, and I believe it, but I don't have children, but I have multiple books that I wrote. And when you finish book, there's just, you cannot, I don't know, start and finish book to find out, doesn't matter how long. When you write anything, when you write short story, when you write one page, when you finish, when you work on something for weeks and months and years, and you finally finished it, you feel like you climb at the biggest mountain in the universe. But after about 5 seconds, you feel that this is gone. You finished your work, you finished your project, and that project is gone now, and you're gonna have to start from beginning. Now I grew addicted to this feeling, but even then, I made video about it. That I finished first act now at the time of recording this. I finished second act of my 6th book. I'm halfway through. When you get there, it's the most addictive feeling in the world, and it lasts about 5 seconds. And then it's like, okay, let's start from beginning. And I didn't even lose anything. Yeju lost his job, he lost his career, he lost his pride. Except he didn't. He does have his pride, he does have his honor, and he has another motivation as a one of my greatest personal heroes, David Goggins, says it's not about motivation, because motivation is crap. Motivation comes and goes. And by the way, I stand by this from my own experience. Everyone says, how do you stay motivated? How much you write? How do you motivate this to your writing? Screw motivation. Motivation is mental masturbation. It's all that is. You read something on Twitter, you feel motivated for, I don't know, minute, and then it goes away. Determination is something that pulls you through hell and makes you keep going. Determination, and that's what Jeju has. So those are a few tips. 1. Relieve characters personality through his 1. Make character relatable through relatable means. Doesn't matter if your character is Prince of the Empire or he's Space Marine or he hunts vampires. Make him feel same fears and anxiety. Make superpowered Prince Vampire Hunter who has some insecurities and is afraid to ask girl out. You'll see just how relatable it will be. So that's 1, relatability. 2, there's make sure to reveal character's personality through subtle action. Yes, sometimes your character can yell out of his lungs. Sometimes your character can go, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and you will all see if it's part of his personality. But Jeju is a true introvert. No, not cheap writing, pandering introvert who pretends to be introvert for few minutes of 80s nostalgia and then suddenly gives speeches to the whole army. No, Jeju is truly introvert. He strikes me as an empath. As an empath myself, Jeju might be heading that direction when he might be actually exhausted by being with too many people at once and feeling their emotions. That is real. I'm not talking about Star Trek empath, but actually condition of someone being empath. Basically, you have hyper extended empathy, and whenever someone tells you that empathy is a gift, you have strong urge to spit in their face. There's a second one. Reveal your character's true personality through subtle action. He smokes cigar. I'm repeating myself, but sorry. If you want to make a character who is wild and loud, you can do it, but this character is introvert. He smokes cigar. He gives handkerchief to his friend who's crying about him leaving. He gets a job and he starts over. And that's just him sitting down and creating new character. As you can tell, it got me so hard. And it got me so harder than dozens of books and movies and entire TV show that I experienced in my life. Just creating new character as I sit down. It hit me at so many places so strong. And finally, determination. And this goes for you listening too. It's not about motivation, it's about determination. Your long-term goal that you tunnel vision on, and you cannot allow yourself to give up. Not because you feel like being strong. When you feel motivated, you go in. When you don't feel motivated, you go in. When things goes well, you keep going. When things goes not so well, you keep going. So remember, make character relatable through simple relatable things. That's 1. 2, make sure to reveal his personality or her personality or everything between there, your character's personality through subtle action. And 3, remember to focus on determination over motivation. This is from first 20-minute long episodes. I'm 3 episodes in and I get strong feeling that I'm gonna keep making Watch and Learn about this show. And finally, when he gets to cafe, his boss, Shenghua, she's the cutest and bestest waifu ever, and I'm gonna fight any one of you who says different. She's the best waifu, and that's where conversation ending. And you will better watch the show and you better let me know how awesome it is, because it is, and you won't regret. Also, if you agree with anything that I said, if you watched the show and came back, or God helps, if any of my advices actually help you, which I would be really happy, please let me know. And it would be pretty awesome if you liked, shared, and most most of all subscribe. I want to grow this channel and I cannot do it without your help. Thank you so much for listening and stay awesome.